Keep holding on when my brain's ticking like a bomb. Guess the black dogs have come again to get me. Sweet bitter words, unlike nothing I've heard. Sing along, mockingbird, you don't affect me. That's right. Deliver it to my heart. Please strike. Be deliberate. Wait, I'm coming undone. Wait, I'm coming undone. Too late. I'm coming undone. What looks so strong, so delicate. Wait, I'm starting to suffocate, and soon I anticipate. I'm coming undone. What looks so strong, so delicate.
I'm a rebel just for kicks now.
Choke again. I thought my demons were my friends. Pity me, in the end, they're out to get me. Since I was young, I've tasted sorrow on my tongue, and this sweet sugar gun does not protect me.
Wait till the walls are built.
That's right. Trigger between my eyes. Please strike. Make it quick now. Wait, I'm coming undone. Wait, I'm coming undone. Too late. I'm coming undone. What looks so strong, so delicate. Wait, I'm starting to suffocate, and soon I anticipate. I'm coming undone. What looks so strong, so delicate.
Might be over now, but I feel it still.
I'm trying to hold it together. Head is lighter than a feather. Looks like I'm not getting better. Not getting better. Wait, I'm coming undone. Wait, I'm coming undone. Too late. I'm coming undone. What looks so strong, so delicate. Wait, I'm starting to suffocate, and soon I anticipate. I'm coming undone. What looks so strong, so delicate.
Hello, everybody. How we doing? How we doing, y'all? It has been a hot minute. Whoo! Howdy, howdy, howdy. I have lost track of time, so I can't even remember how many days it's been since I
DWA.
streamed. A lot of apples. Thank you for gifting Brianna Huffman a sub. Getting us kicked off on the right foot, my god. And don't you think, a lot of apples, that I didn't see you gifting Trains and Bullshit a tier 1 sub. And I see you, KBS, out there gifting a lot of apples a sub. And Trains and Bullshit a sub. How am I? I'm doing fine-ish. I got extremely bad food poisoning, to the extent that the day after I streamed, and you know, Anthony Fantano rated in, and again, thank you, Anthony. If you ever want to hop on and just talk, you're more than welcome. I got really, really bad food poisoning to the extent that even today I'm still feeling the effects of it. What food did it? Either Chipotle or, and I'm putting more weight on this one, uh, a noodles and sauce combo that was at least like a week and a half older than I should have eaten it. I'm gonna give the edge to the noodles and sauce. Um, over the Chipotle. It could have been either. I think it might have been the noodles and shot and sauce. Yeah, it was really good noodles and sauce though. So still more likely Chipotle. True, John Bogardus. Hey, Captain Conundrum. Hello, eyes rolling. Love my shirt. Thank you. It's one of my favorites. Hello, lot of apples. Hello, Erica. Hello, VCC TV. Hello, Berserk Jazerk. Hello, Brianna Huffman. Why would you do that to yourself? Because I was really hungry and it was after stream at like 4 o'clock in the morning and I didn't want to make anything. And it was in the fridge and I didn't think about how old it was and I just ate it. And then, yeah. And so I spent the day immediately after that Anthony Fantano stream vomiting everything out of my body. To an alarming degree. Just bedridden and vomiting nonstop. And I lost almost 10 pounds from vomiting everything in my gut. And my body is still trying to. I also couldn't eat anything for like a day and a half. So my body like for important point of context. I don't have a gallbladder anymore because I had to have it taken out. So my body's also a bit slower to restore bile, which, if you know anything about digestive systems, is kind of the thing you need to break down food. And your liver does most of it. You know, you don't need a gallbladder. A lot of apples. Thank you for the gifted sub to Luna Rose. That's so kind of you. Thank you so much. And so my body has been slow to reacclimate to eating food to the extent that I just feel like there's a bowling ball in my stomach constantly, and it's very uncomfortable and irritating. And I was hoping that it'd be gone by now, but it apparently can take like 1 to 2 weeks. So that's fun. Sounds like it sucks. It does, and it's one of the reasons why I haven't been streaming. The other one is that it's tax season, and as a freelancer, I have the pleasure of doing my taxes and always needing to pay money during tax season. And I have to thank you guys because I actually made enough money to officially not be considered poor last year, which is great. But less great because I assumed that, like, oh, well, that means my taxes, you know, my income is about like 2 times where it was. You know, I'm now like in the middle class, which is great. Not complaining about that. But also I had assumed that would mean my taxes are 2 times higher than they were before, 2 or 3 times higher. I have a tax bill of like $10,000. So, I'm gonna be okay, but it basically wipes me out. And, yeah, KBS, I'm learning that the hard way. I'm learning that the hard way. I'm learning that the hard way. Because I had no idea what my income would be like when I launched the .gg site, and so um I made some assumptions that were not actually backed up. Well, 10K is bad when you only have 5K. I will say that. When you only have like 5K in savings after the last thing wiped you out, having to owe 10K is a lot. Yeah, basically, for those of you who don't know, like if you're working a normal job, your employer like withholds some of your paycheck and like also pays taxes, you know? And if you're a freelancer, you are both your employer and the employee, so you pay both taxes, and it can absolutely destroy you. God. That sucks, the entire concept of dick. Yeah, I was doing my taxes yesterday, like happily, like just like da 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 da, gonna fill all this in, gonna get my taxes done. And then I hit that point and I spiraled into existential dread trying to figure out what to do. And I did eventually figure out what I could do, and that was taking I had in the past, when I had less expenses, and this is like, 6 years ago, put money into my IRA, and so I just took money out of my IRA, which is absolutely not ideal, but also one of the only ways I could pay that. So, and you can, Mr. Miyagi, I looked into it, you can work out a payment plan with the IRS. The issue is that it has daily compounding interest. So, you can do a payment plan, it just fucks you. 10% penalty for IRA withdrawal? Yeah. Yeah.
Tetsudayamasu. I'm helping. BWA.
Oh my god, Paladin lost! With the 50 goddamn tier 1 sub. I mean, you are fucking helping. Thank you so goddamn much. Wow. Fuck. Thank you so much. Oh my god, Paladin. There shall be no white names this day. So can we do chill content now? I mean, I'm doing relatively chill content today. The better way to do it is to pay quarterly estimated tax the year before. Yeah, which I would have done, except that I didn't know what the .gg income would be, right? Like, I didn't know if I was going to be able to continue streaming last year, because things on Twitch had gotten so bad. But we switched over to the Riverboat site, and that allowed me to continue streaming and make more money, like, sustainably, and, like, that, like, saved the channel, honestly. Have we done the white name genocide? You have indeed. Hey, Boiled Peanuts. Hello, Spicy Diarrhea. I missed you guys, too. Also, goddamn, Paladin. Glad we kicked your ass about it. I mean, I didn't have the ability to do anything. It was the fine folks at White Forest who finally got to my channel, and I really appreciate them for that. Hey, Rapscallion Queen. Hello, Crush Dupe. Also, why are alerts not going off? 1 second. Wait, were alerts not going off earlier on stream too? Like when a lot of apples, when you were gifting stuff, did that not work as well? we got the sound alerts. Here, maybe I just need to refresh the alert box. No text-to-speech? Weird. Text-to-speech isn't working? Hello, Lord Pasta Productions. Hello, Smelanie. My university hosted a drag show today in a hyper-conservative town here in Missouri. It was fun and I got hugged by a drag queen. Hell yeah. So, yeah, I wound up eating the penalty on, taking the money out of the IRA. But I took like just enough to like cover the tax bill. So I'm gonna be okay. It's not like an emergency, but tomorrow we are gonna do like a subathon type thing. I'm still planning out the details, but I wanted to let you all know that we're gonna have like a fun stream tomorrow. Would creating an LLC help in this situation? Yeah, not really. I should make an LLC just to like protect my ass, essentially. Like, if I got hit with a lawsuit, it'd be way better to have an LLC to like be able to declare bankruptcy on that entity instead of personal bankruptcy. So I am going to at some point like make an LLC just to protect my like, you know, self. But yes, we'll be your LLC in a workplace democracy. If it helps, your poverty is saving Doodleburb. They are running a restart-a-thon, and normally I'd be spending money on that chaos, but instead I won't. What is a restart-a-thon? Hey, Darth Gently. Wait, what happened? To summarize for you, Boiled Peanuts, I got extraordinarily bad food poisoning that I'm still recovering from. And then I did my taxes, and good news is that I made money, and bad news is I set aside approximately half of what I needed in order to pay my taxes, so I was like $5,000 short. But now I can plan ahead for that, which is good. I did, yes, spicy diarrhea. I had an actual spicy diarrhea. That's true. All the lore from all of Kingdom Hearts and every 20 subs is starting over from the beginning. Wait, so they're trying to recite all of the lore from Kingdom Hearts? That's actually really funny. God, I barely understand anything from Kingdom Hearts, and I tried playing that first game. It's kind of rough to go back to. So who are you debating? And anyone in chat who would like to debate me? Game by game in chronological order. Are they gonna do even like that weird little mobile game? Hey, Kev from Mars. Hello, AltFact. Oh, no, no, no. Are we doing that madness? Redheads are evil. Oh, also, while I had food poisoning, I did successfully ratio Matt Walsh by like at a ratio of like 20 to 1. So I am gonna be proud of that for a while. He was trying to say that a really hot masculine trans man was like Big Bird trying to claim to be a real bird, and I obliterated him in the marketplace of ideas. I guess I can stroke my ego just like a little bit. Just like a little bit. It's like a tiny bit. So, some context here. You know, you got this transphobia will always be insane to me because what do you mean you believe that's a woman? And like, this is a guy named Leo McAllen, relatively big on TikTok, as you can tell. Like, pretty hot trans guy, you know? Pretty hot, like very masculine trans guy, you know? And Matt Walsh was just like, transphobia will always be insane to me because what do you mean you believe that's not a bird? And then, of course, there's a pretty easy way to figure this out. Which of these people is more manly? And, you know, you got the soy Matt Walsh and the Chad Leo McAllen. Yeah, which of these guys is more manly? And the best part about this, guys, is that every single conservative that responded to this was either like, the guy with a penis, obviously, in which case, where y'all checking out Matt Walsh's penis? How is Matt Walsh's penis so widely known that you guys are positive it exists? And second of all, the other response I got a lot of on this one was just like conservatives dodging the question. Because notice I didn't ask which of these people is a man. I didn't ask which person in these two images is a man. I said which one is more manly. And I think that there's a pretty obvious answer here. And I think that answer is so obvious that conservatives are angry at the fact that the answer is obvious. Like, you might be saying, but Jack, clearly Leo prepared like a photo shoot for this Instagram post. And it's like, yeah, but also this is Matt Walsh after having done like hair and makeup for a film. He's in a film. And second of all, I think by all standards that conservatives accept as what is masculine, this guy is clearly far more masculine. Like, so goddamn much more masculine than Matt Walsh, it makes them angry. And the fact is, none of them could talk about anything that was like something they could verify. You know, they're like, oh, well, the guy on the right has XX chromosomes. Oh, really? Have you seen his DNA tests? Well, the guy on the left has a penis, so like, he's more man. Really? Are you sure he has a penis? How are you sure that the guy on the right doesn't have a penis? Well, the guy on the left has children, and so like, but okay, but yeah, like gay and trans people can have children, so like, again, all like any direction a conservative tries to respond to this post in is just them wrecking themselves. You know? Like, this is kind of like why I haven't done like a whole lot of or why I stayed out for a while from like panel shows that were like debating trans issues. Like, it's like existing as a cliff that desperately needs a lighthouse, because all that happens is just a bunch of conservatives come and wreck themselves against you, and it's just like, what? Why even bother with this? Do we know Matt has one? I don't. I don't know that Matt Walsh has a penis, and frankly, I don't want to know. Guy pretends to be a baby. Okay, that dude sold baby merchandise with his head on it. Like, he's weird. I don't want to know anything about his genital situation. I don't want to know. My headcanon is it's just Ken doll down there. Yeah. Conservatives are weird little freaks obsessed with genitalia of random people. Gamer G, you have no idea how true that is. One day I'll tell a story on this stream, okay? One day I will tell a story on this stream, and you guys will lose your shit. I promise, because it's so weird and so funny, and I just can't tell it right now. But the conversations I've had with some conservatives as a result of doing this show are real weird. Okay? They are so weird. The like, like when I'm doing my show, right? When I'm doing my show like this, I have like an open question policy where like no question is too weird. You can ask your question. I'll be happy to answer it. Because I know a lot of people never had the opportunity to ask stuff about trans issues to an actual trans person. You know, I have a lot of patience for that because I want to be someone who educates folks on trans issues. And I try to extend that even if I'm having one-on-one conversations. But let me tell you, it's a lot weirder to be asked about your genital situation and how not just how trans sex works, but how trans sex works specifically with me. And I'm not going to go into the whole story today, but I will say a conservative recently asked me about that in a one-on-one conversation. It was not via text, and it was very weird. Anyway, conservatives do be weird about genitals. No offense, Jack, but I've never wondered that about you. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Conservatives are weird, like sex perverts. And I love sex perverts, but not that kind of sex pervert. Hey, Ms. Milena, how you doing? I hope it was recorded. I'm not gonna say too much. Long day, but a good one. Nice. Also, sorry I didn't say hello to all of you. At the beginning of stream, but I wanted to explain myself since I've been gone for so long. Like, I streamed on Friday, or did I stream on Saturday? I've lost all track of time. When was my last stream? When did... My last stream was April 5th. Yeah, it was last Friday. My god. So I took 4 days off. I took 4 days off and it feels like it's been an eternity. My god. Oh, my rear end. The Oracle project is probably somewhere in my backlog of videos that I have yet to put up on YouTube. Also, it might have been lost, so we might have to do that one again, which sucks. But also, that one is cool and more people should see it, so it's actually not that bad. Cursed food poisoning energy. True. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. We got the alert. A lot of apples. Thank you for gifting a sub to my rear end, and also maybe we can get someone to test out the text to speech to see if that fixed it as well. Quora is on the Mount Rushmore of shitty websites. True. That's not even a debatable opinion. That's just true. Quora is just shitty Reddit with a more conservative bent. How did the 50 bomb miss them? I don't know. This is like Frieza surviving the spirit bomb. What got you food poisoning? Probably old noodles and cheese sauce. Unfortunately. Or Chipotle. It's a toss-up. 50-50. Wait, how old? Like, probably like a week and a half after I should have thrown it out. But there wasn't mold on it, guys. There wasn't mold on it, so it was fine. You should have just made more noodles and sauce. I had more sauce. I just had to like heat it up. But it was 4 o'clock in the morning. I didn't want to make noodles, and I didn't want to make new sauce. It was after stream. Never letting Jack cook for me. I cook really, really good. I just don't let me reheat the leftovers for you. Up and dat pussy like a pap smear. Harbu Darbu gang strong. Oh, you know, on that note, I was looking at a lot of the comments on the Harbu Darbu video that I did. And like, there are a lot of people in the comments about that being like, "Oh, you're insane. You're an insane propagandist. You're lying about the lyrics of Harbu Darbu. It's fine. It's not a genocidal song at all." It's like, the song ends with a call to murder Mia Khalifa. Like, what are you talking about? Like, it's a song explicitly like about like writing the names of people from October 7th on bombs that have killed like 20,000 children. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, VCC TV. It's a cesspool in there. Cry for ceasefire all you want, but the rain won't stop for savage dogs. Well, here's the thing. Like, even if you're like someone who's like, Israel's absolutely 110,000% doing the right thing here, I think at some point you need to stop and realize they can't kill all of the Palestinians. And they can't destroy Hamas without killing all of the Palestinians. And if they do kill all of the Palestinians, like, literally that kicks off an entire world war against Israel. Like, the United States isn't going to defend Israel being genocidal, like, if it comes to, like, an actual war. Like, Israel will stand alone on that front, if that's what you believe, you know? And, like, you say that, but at this point, I don't know. I mean, like, for real, I don't think the United States, if like it was confirmed, like tomorrow Israel went into Rafah and just started like mowing down civilians, I don't believe that the United States would like be able to, like, like from a domestic standpoint, like you think like. You think people in the United States would just, like, let that happen without, like, riots in the streets? No. Fucking no. Most of the Arab world doesn't care. I would disagree about that. I think that most of the Arab world cares quite a bit about whether or not Israel's doing a genocide. I think that, in fact, if the world didn't care, they would already be like exterminating everyone in Rafah. Like it would just be like mass arrests, you know, straight up, you know, to the wall, gunshot to the head for all ages, you know. Like that's the thing, right? Like the only thing preventing Israeli officials who are publicly saying we need to turn Gaza into a parking lot from actually doing that is the fact that the world cares. And the fact that there would be deep political, diplomatic, and military ramifications for doing that. The US was fine with it up until now. Why change? Basically because Democrats have realized that there are political consequences domestically for allowing it to happen. You know, there's a reason why Nancy fucking Pelosi is like part of a coalition of Democrats calling for arms to be like stopped to Israel. Like Nancy Pelosi is doing that. There's political damage being done domestically, and the Democratic establishment took a while to wake up to that, and now they're trying to figure out how to walk a new tightrope. But like that entire calculus changes if like Israel just says fuck it and kills 1.5 million Palestinians. Look, I have no idea what Nancy Pelosi's, like, true motivations are. Maybe she's, like, cackling at home, being like, ah, yes, this is the true way to wipe out all the Palestinians. I doubt it. But, like, maybe that's the case. Either way, I would say that, stopping arms to Israel and, like, putting pressure on Israel to end what they are currently doing is good. Nancy cackles 24/7. Okay, that's true. It's because she has friends in the world kitchen who died. I, frankly, and I'm going to be completely honest here, I don't care what motivates her. What I care about is the fact that she's one of the most powerful Democrats in Congress, and she's lending her voice to this, which gives it actual weight in Congress. Well, so this is the thing, Mr. Miyagi. Um, isn't she gone next election? Yes. She is gone next election, but while that does change some of the political calculus and it does weaken the amount of power she has, she still has like quite a bit of institutional power behind her as long as she's still in office. I only care in respect to don't get it twisted. She's not a saint, if that makes sense. That's true. Yeah, exactly. Oh God, what was I just gonna say? Oh, regarding like Netanyahu, Netanyahu is a very evil man, frankly, like without mincing words. And I know that that's not news to any of you who've been paying attention. Um, but he's been deliberate, like from my observation of like the news, he's been trying to draw the United States into this conflict. Basically, he's been trying to widen the conflict from just Gaza into, you know, you know, oh, Israel's gonna fight Hezbollah. Oh, Israel's gonna fight like Iran. You know, um, you don't bomb an Iranian consulate and kill like two of their top ranking military officers if you aren't trying to widen the conflict. And I think that Bibi's goal here is to extend the war for as long as possible so that he can maintain power. And if he can drag the United States into a war with Iran, then he's going to have a much stronger position that the United States is going to have less influence on, if that makes sense. Oh yeah, and like also one of his his long time goal has been to start a war with Iran. Um, like Netanyahu was instrumental in getting Trump to pull out of the Iranian nuclear agreement. Like he gave an entire ass PowerPoint presentation to basically try and show to the Trump administration that like the Iranians were like cheating on their nuclear inspections. And I would argue that that's probably pretty instrumental in getting Trump to pull out of that. Isn't it against international law to bomb diplomatic buildings? Yes, it is. And in fact, would largely be considered like a provocation towards war. Like it would be considered an act of war to bomb a diplomatic stronghold of a foreign nation because it's considered foreign soil. And not only did Israel bomb the consulate, they deliberately bombed the consulate because there's a difference between accidentally bombing like a diplomatic position and being able to claim that, oh, it was an accident, our targeting computer broke or whatever, and then just saying, oh, yeah, we meant to do that, we were carrying out an assassination. Like there's a big difference between those two, you know. So I guess I hate it. I hate that it comes down to this. A lot of it comes down to how the Biden administration is actually going to respond if Iran responds. Because I know that a lot of the communication from Biden and the White House has been essentially, we're going to stand by our Israeli allies if Iran responds. But I genuinely, I don't know to what extent that stance reflects our actual position, if that makes sense. Largely because there had been with the Biden administration some progress towards normalizing relations with Iran. And I genuinely don't know to what degree, like, Biden finds political and, like, geopolitical utility in standing by Israel should Iran, like, escalate things. So, yeah. Trains and bullshit. I don't think they're going to be. I don't think there's any argument about from Israel's end that, like, what they were doing wasn't a strike on a diplomatic target. I haven't seen any of that. Also, I know a lot. I know a lot of people kind of, like, got excited about the fact that Israel pulled out like some troops out of Gaza. Um, but I want you all to temper any of that excitement, specifically because from my perspective, it would make sense for them to reposition troops outside of Gaza to prepare for a possible Iranian counterattack. And also, it's far more likely that instead of taking troops completely out of Gaza, they're merely regrouping for a ground assault on Rafah. So yeah, like I saw, like, some people on, you know, the internet getting like, oh, they're stepping down, and that's absolutely not my read of the situation. They're preparing for things to go sideways with Iran, and they're preparing to finish, you know, the job in Rafah. Well, Malachi, yes and no, because if they're planning a land invasion of a city of 1.5 million, they do need a lot of people. So, yeah. Well, the thing is, Malachi, they don't want people to feel like Gaza is disarmed yet, you know? God, I hope. Honestly, if I hope nukes don't get used. Like, fuck. If that happens, I'm like, I have no idea what's about to happen. Hey, Ronwid. We were just talking about Israel, Palestine, Gaza, stuff like that. Yeah, no. If anyone drops a nuke in actual, like, in an actual geopolitical conflict, like, basically all calculations are off, and, like, nuclear war could be right around the corner, you know? And honestly, same if, like, things escalate with Iran. New top? Nah, this is actually a pretty old top. Just like me, JK. Oh no, full out nuclear war wouldn't end, like, human existence on Earth. That's always been silly. It would make it suck a lot, though. Um, but yeah, I would really like Israel to stop. Just pack it up and go home. Bounce us back to the Middle Ages? Yeah, probably. Hey, Priscilla. I worked with a guy who planned the deployment of nuclear weapons to eliminate humanity because engineers. Good news, nuclear winter would cool the planet down. In the short term. In the long term, it would heat it up. Unfortunately. Also, nuclear winter might not even be a thing. Good thing I'm close to a major military base. Hopefully I die in the blast. Honestly, yeah. Might be a better outcome. Actual good news, an Aussie in advertising unoccupied homes, the intent of directing squatters, it's making Americans angry. Good. I hope so. I heard about that guy. Absolute goddamn legend. Absolute goddamn legend. Finding empty buildings and directing homeless people in how to successfully squat in them. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. We're not even close to nuclear bombings. I feel like we can be closer to nuclear bombings than people might realize, you know? Like we're closer to accidental nuclear bombings than most people realize, and that's scary. Yeah, especially with Netanyahu and Vladimir Putin with fingers on buttons. Yeah, spicy diarrhea. I think technically we're still in an ice age. Or we're in an interglacial period of an ice age. Well, the Little Ice Age wasn't an ice age. It was. Hmm. Oh, so I was sick. Did Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro wind up having that debate? No? Those bastards. Those bastards. Boo! Boo! Last I heard it was on, but maybe they're like trying to like get a day for it to happen. Oh, by the way, while I was sick, I watched Frieren. I finished watching the Sad Elf anime. It was pretty good. I would recommend that. I also watched Solo Leveling, which is I would say it's a bad show. It's a bad show. I I but it's a well animated bad show, and I enjoyed the pretty colors. Um, yeah, that's kind of where I was at, Paladin. Like, there's an interesting kind of core like mystery, but basically all of the supporting characters are trash. The main character is trash, and like I'm more interested in the mechanics of the world than I am about any single character in it, which kind of sucks. Hey, Shai Halud. TYT has jumped the shark. Why are they saying they're not going to vote for Biden or something? Oh, wait, I was pulling that out of my ass. Wait. Anna Kasparian came out saying she won't vote for Biden under any circumstances, advocating for people to do the same. Man. I can't believe it. Well, the thing is, VCC TV, if Anna was just like a rando, no one would care. But she's like one of the co-hosts of the most watched online news show. You know? Like I I used to look up to her, and it's so upsetting. It's so upsetting. And like look, I don't care about how she votes personally. What I care about is her advocating for others not to. That's what I care about. I care about the effect of her advocacy. Um that sucks. I just I don't know, is it too much to ask for us to not have a fascist United States? Like I get that neoliberals suck, but like a fascist United States would suck way more. Like not like one of these like I know there are lefties who do this, who talk about like the United States being like, oh, well, the United States has already fallen to fascism. It's called liberalism. And like no, I mean like actual fascism, like full blown capital F fascism. You know, like Mussolini, Francisco Franco style shit, you know? And it's just like I don't know how you look that matchup straight in the face and say not only will I not personally vote against fascism, I'm going to advocate everyone else should also not vote against fascism. And it's just like what the fuck are you doing? As like a political commentator, what are you doing? Like it's one thing, I think, to make the like a moral argument like, oh, I just can't morally support Joe Biden. But again, we have to weigh both options in a binary system. You know, either the Republican candidate or the Democratic candidate is going to become president. We've done this conversation so many times. If there was a realistic shot of a third party candidate, like, sure, I'd be on board with that, but there's not. Like, I don't know. I feel like while we're this far out from the election, it's pointless for me to really like go in on this. I just want to say I'm disappointed. You know, I'm disappointed, and I thought better of you know, not just Anna, but like a lot of the people in this space. I love that most of the right can't describe the difference between fascism and communism. True. True. Um, did I finish Star Wars Andor? I did. Star Wars Andor is the best piece of Star Wars media that exists, and I'll fight anyone who thinks otherwise. Why are you guys saying you shouldn't litter? Stu, yeah, exactly. That's kind of where I'm at, Gamer G. It's too early to have the voting argument. You guys already know where I stand on voting, like, and who you should vote for in the upcoming election. We'll go through that again as we get like significantly closer to the election, because that's when it's actually going to matter. Because no one is gonna care like 6 months out that I think they should vote. People are gonna care like a month out that I think they should vote. Um, yeah. Also, Star Wars Andor is unabashedly anti-fascist and like shows the radicalization of people against fascism in a really beautiful and genuine way that I really fucking appreciate. Like, it's one of the first pieces of media where like the fascism of the empire is like explored, how you go from living under, you know, a republic and being like relatively like, you know, going about your daily business, and then how you get radicalized under fascism. And I think that's pretty cool. Can we still say vote or die, or has that been taken from us too? Yeah, no, go for it. Go for it. When you're hit with not one but two amazing speeches in one episode, right? Swing states decide the election. Yep. I know how elections work. Got my marching orders from General Henry T. Booty at 19. Do I think voting should be mandatory? I think our democratic process would improve quite a bit if it were. Like, frankly, I think before we reached mandatory voting, I'd want to see how like having like voting holidays worked out. I think basically any day you have like a vote should be one where everyone gets a day off. You know? I think the fact that like our elections aren't considered like national or state level holidays is kind of insane. Um like if that still didn't like wind up increasing participation by quite a bit, I would advocate for mandatory voting, sure. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, Nerodia. Plus, we should just seek to erode those systematic barriers to voting as much as possible before we leap to mandatory voting. How would you punish non-voting? I again, it's not my go-to solution, so I have no idea. Is it at all meaningful that the candidates are so old? Meaningful in what sense? Eyes rolling like that, because it's meaningful in some ways and not so much in others. So like, how do you mean? Well, in Robert Adset, like in the United States, your employer is supposed to give you time off to go vote on paper. In practice, it just doesn't happen. In Australia, they fine you like $40 if you don't vote. Non-voters are given old noodles to eat. Oh, please no. I uh I have started, by the way. The food poisoning was actually a very convenient um event to happen, because I just started doing um like a fitness plan to get down to like basically lose like 40 pounds. And so I'm already almost like I'm already like halfway towards my goal. So that's pretty cool. And the fact that I have a really difficult time eating now also makes it very easy. Old noodle punishment or old noodle fitness arc? Who can say? Yeah, is this the new tapeworm diet? It's true, Nerodia. However, I also the fitness plan is me keeping track of like my caloric intake, and I'm extremely low on all of those every single goddamn day since I got sick. Exactly, very knifey duck. So my plan is to stick to my plan, in which case it will stay off. Sweet Myths Music. I've been using an app called Lose It, and it's actually been kind of fun. It like gamifies it a little bit. Didn't lose cleavage though. No, that's probably here to stay. Also, chat, we've been going for over an hour. If you've been enjoying stream, please hit the follow button on Twitch, hit the subscribe button on YouTube, like the goddamn YouTube stream, and please consider dropping those sweet, sweet subs and donos, because I'm basically broke. So thank you very much for any of your assistance today. Yeah, honestly, I've never done like I've done calorie counting in the past, and it has always sucked ass. But you can like with this app, you can just like scan the barcodes on things you eat, and like it instantly calculates it for you, and like that's really nice. And then like that then like I just eat I'm mindful about what I eat and drink, and like it's actually nice to make those more meaningful choices. See, I have chosen a non-aggressive approach towards my like daily calorie adjustment. So like for me, I haven't hit a point where like I can't eat anything, you know, where I have to stop, which has been nice. Paladin lost, or counterpoint, they do want to see 90-year-old Jack try and talk about politics. Okay? Maybe that's what this world needs. It needs 90-year-old trans ladies explaining how the world works to you young whippersnappers. Also, I I forgot what I was gonna say. I totally blanked. Ooh, salmon
Not
moose.
as impressive as our master of Smite, but something at least. Subs for the sub gods. Donos from the
for the
Dono
dono
gods.
gods. Thank you for the 5 gifted tier 1 subs, Salmon Moose. Thank you so goddamn much. Also, I found that there are some just really tasty recipes that I can rely on, and I've just been slowly broadening out from there. It's been really nice. I also really like cooking, so like for me it's just kind of exciting to like look into making new stuff. Um for example, I just got all of the ingredients together to make some shakshuka, I think it's called. It looks delicious. I'm really excited to like do more cooking adventures. And so I'm kind of like framing this as like learning how to cook new things and like right? Share recipes? Yeah. What is shakshuka? Here, I'll show you guys.
Got any tips for like exercise stuff?
Ooh, I do. Foxbat, thank you for getting a tier 1 sub. Ooh, basics with Babish. Nice. Wait.
Hey, what's up guys? Today we are making shakshuka, an easy and delicious... I forgot to use a plate. Again. It's a good thing that my sponsor this week is Bounty Paper Towels. They're here to help...
I like binging with Babish, go buy his paper towels. But we're not watching this ad.
Basics.
God, his channel's so charming.
Eggs that don't seem to want to be a good little egg and stand still for the camera. Come on, little guy, everybody's watching. There we go, good job. And as with most tomato-based sauces and stews, there's usually onions and garlic. Just about the only things that you're gonna have to demonstrate your knife skills on this morning. Just finely dice the onion and use the heel of your chef's knife to press down on the garlic cloves so it's easy to peel. Then you can either leave them whole, mince them, or press them through a garlic crusher. Dealer's choice. Now that all of our mies is decidedly on plot.
Okay, we don't need to watch the entire recipe. I just want to see the end product here.
From yourself. And to continue treating this like an Italian red sauce, we're going to add a 1/4 cup of chopped fresh basil. Add the sausage back to the party, mix everybody up, and let them simmer for 20 to 30 minutes until the flavors have melded and it's reached the right consistency for egg depositure. Then I'm
I'm pretty sure the sausage is optional, question mark?
We're gonna add some chunks of whole milk, low moisture mozzarella. Lower the heat, cover, and stew, checking for egg consistency after 5 minutes and removing from the heat when nearly done. Serve immediately, garnish with some freshly grated Parmesan and fresh basil. And there you have it, another quick and delicious breakfast, this time inspired by Italian flavors. But what about a Mexican or Spanish-inspired shakshuka? Well, for that, swap out the Italian sausage for chorizo or merguez, add back the cumin and smoked paprika, garnish with some sliced jalapenos, some crumbled cotija.
Okay, I do have to say, this dish is very versatile, and you could do a lot of things with it. This is not how I would make it though. It would go well with some chorizo, but like typically how I've seen it is made with like, I think, yeah, made with like harissa, which is like a chili paste situation. It's basically just like the tomatoes, like spices, harissa, no meat, and then you have the eggs on top with cheese, and then it's used as kind of like more like you dip the bread into it and like scoop bits of it out. That's the recipe that I'm gonna be going with anyway. This is a unique take on it, but yeah. I'm recovering from a surgery and I've been eating so much during that. I'm mentally preparing to cut carbs big time. Fair. Also, good luck with your recovery. Oh, God. You're describing the way I've always had it? Yeah, like that sounds really nice. Like a nice bit of like sturdy bread and like scooping it out. Like that I like the sound of that. I like spicy tomato eggs with bread. I guess you could do like a chorizo situation, but like I think it'd be fine without it. Third hip replacement? Well, best of luck. Hey, Sassy Booper. Yeah, exactly, Malachi. Get a little garlic bread situation going on. As far as like advice on like exercises and stuff, it really depends on kind of what you're going for. If you're going for more like weight loss exercises, then like cardio is always like a go-to. But even if you're not really big into exercising, like I would recommend like going for long walks. You know, go for like a 2 to 4 mile long walk, you know? And schedule that into your day and like be consistent with it, and like that can do so much. That can do so much for your health, just like in terms of getting you out of the house, getting you active, getting you outdoors. Like it has positive mental health effects, but also like it will help you burn calories, you know. But yeah, if you're looking just to like burn calories, then like, you know, your exercise bike, elliptical, you know, stair stepper, like those are all going to be like good go-tos. Chorizo is pretty tasty. I got nothing against chorizo. I've heard you still need 30 minutes of like get heart rate up 3 times a week, and that ups the metabolism. I mean, yes, it does, but like, frankly, I'm gonna be honest. I think that stuff is a bit overrated. Like, as long as you are out moving around and being active, I think that's way more important. Plus, like, if you're out on a walk and you make that consistent and like you're feeling pretty good about walking, you know, break into a little bit of a run for like 10 minutes during your walk, you know? Once that gets a little bit easier, go a little bit longer, you know? Like but start with the walk. I think the walk is really important to get consistent with because it will also set aside time for you. Like, it's a doable activity. It's easy to wrap your head around and like get started and get your foot out the door, which is the hardest part. And then you can always make it more intense. Hey, Amber Brains. 15 to 20 minutes of cardio will cause insulin sensitivity to increase for the next 16 to 20 hours, so carbs and sugar processes more efficiently instead of turning into fat. Just elevating heart rate counts as cardio, no high intensity necessary. Well, hey there, Crystal Hazer knows all about this over in Twitch chat. Highly recommend you take her advice over mine, especially on this topic. Good to know. Also, do I look okay today, guys? I did not look or feel attractive at all today, so I tried really hard for stream today. I did my makeup and everything. And also today is the it's my 7th birthday. So I've been on HRT for 7 years now. And it's a pretty significant day. Yeah. Thanks, Ms. Milena. It's always kind of an emotional day. And yeah. It's a long time. It is a long time. You know, it marks like the 7th anniversary of me choosing to not kill myself. Essentially, you know? And I feel so lucky to be here. Like, really, really fucking lucky. 7 years is like 54 in trans years. You say that as like a joke, but like it's really true, you know? Like so many of us never get to see 7, you know? I think about that a lot. Oh, VCC TV, I'm sorry you've been having a horrible day. I hope it turns around
Happy
soon.
7th.
Ozchunk, thank you for subscribing with Prime. And thank you for the happy 7th anniversary. Yeah, Lunar Rose, it's such a weird process. Like, transitioning is so weird. And like, you know, like, it's so slow and so fast at the same time. You know, it's never fast enough. And yet it does happen fast. You know, so many changes happening in your body and so many like social changes happening around you, like the acceptance or rejection of people around you happens, you know, in the blink of an eye, and it's just so much of that happening constantly. And it's a lot. And yeah, in a just and in a better world, I would have known what a trans person was when I was a kid, you know? I didn't even know that I could transition. I didn't know I didn't know that trans people were just normal people, you know, because when I was a kid, trans people on TV and on the internet were treated like circus freaks, you know? Like amusement sideshows. And I didn't know that that was a thing that could happen. You know, just being happy and yourself. Like, I knew it was possible for other people, but, like, I didn't want to turn out and have to be, like, trotted out on Jerry Springer for the rest of my life, you know? But yeah, in a just and in a better world, I could have known that that was, like, a solution and, like, an option, you know? And, like, I've talked about this, you know, a bit on stream in the past, but, like, I when I was in middle school, like, my dysphoria started acting up real bad, which, you know, makes sense because, you know, middle school. And, like, almost every day on the bus ride home, I would, like, fantasize about being in a car accident, you know? And, like, the idea being that one day I could just walk out into the street and a car would hit me. But it wouldn't kill me. You know, this wasn't me wishing I was dead. But I'd walk out into the middle of the street and in this fantasy and, like, be hit by a car. And the damage would just be so severe that I'd be completely and utterly unrecognizable. And while they were scheduling, like, surgeries and, like, reconstruction and all of that, the doctors and surgeons would just have a whoopsie-daisy type situation, and I would be reconstructed as a woman, you know? And then like, I would wake up and I would just be a lady, and I could just go about my daily life, and no one would be able to, like, you know, I'm sure my parents would have been like, no, we'll get you reconstructed the right way, and I'd just be like, no, it's fine, actually, I don't want to take the risks with the anesthesia. That's just too risky. I'll just live my life like this now. And, you know, that would be it. That would be how I'd deal with that. It would just be a big old whoopsie daisy, and I'd be a lady, and that would be that. And in retrospect, it's really so fucked up that I, as a child, was put into a position where, in order to escape and deal with my condition, I was fantasizing about being horribly mutilated in a car accident. And at a certain point, I just buried those things like deep inside and decided like I wanted to focus on being like, liked in high school, So I decided I would put all those feelings aside because they're weird feelings and not discuss them with anyone and just like, focus on being, not a loser. There's a webcomic called Misfile about a guy who just gets his file misplaced by an angel and gets put in the girl shelves, so he wakes up as a girl. God, if only. Yeah, now I get to log on to Twitter and have half the user base fantasize about me being mangled in a car wreck instead. Yeah. Right after they finish jerking off to my selfies. I'm glad I made it past that too, spicy diarrhea. It's just days like today I reflect a lot. You know? Basically, if Initial D was a gender bender manga, that sounds dope as shit. Paul Verhoeven's Crash? I haven't seen that one. I'll have to take a look into it. Boo! Drag racing! Boo! God damn it. YouTube chat, you still alive? I had problems with self-injury in high school, and then as an adult was diagnosed with congenital musculoskeletal disorder, hence the hip replacements. It's horrible, but I now associate that behavior, that impulse, with some unconscious recognition of needing to get beneath my skin to live and live well. Fair. Cough, cough, I'm dying. Okay. They're still alive, chat, for now. Luna Rose, unfortunately, I think that's a fairly common thing for us. Oh, it's a Cronenberg film. That makes a bit more sense why I might not have seen it. DKM Stas. Never look good with lipstick on. Maybe you just haven't found the right shade that's you. Azalea Sprouts, my girlfriend Hellscape Wanderer and I want to say hi and wish you well. I wish your girlfriend Hellscape Wanderer well as well. Let her know that, we all miss her. But I know she's off doing great and wonderful things, I'm sure. Also, I think like half of lipstick is just like feeling weird about it and then just like going on with your day. Congrats on the 7 years. Thank you, Sassy Booper. I love when I get to see chatters like grow up and like build lives together. It's like one of the best feelings. You know, I like playing a bit role in all of your stories. It's nice. Very knifey duck. Counterpoint, I've never seen a duck in makeup, so you might be able to pull it off. All right, folks, I'm going to take a quick break. Gotta go blow my nose a little bit. Y'all be good. I'll BRB, okay?
I have this thing where I get older, but just never wiser. Midnights become my afternoons.
Let's go! DJ number 1.
When my depression works the graveyard shift all of the people, I ghosted stand there in the room. I should not be left to my own devices. They come with prices and prices. I end up in crisis. I wake up screaming from dreaming. One day I'll watch as you're leaving, 'cause you got tired of my scheming.
Hello, hello, hello! How you doing, my little babbies? How are you doing? Hmm. Are we the baddies? I don't know. Are you the baddies? Huh. Interesting. Where the hell is Charlie Kirk's show? I'm trying to find it. I found his YouTube show. But that appears to be like him trying to dunk on people. Where is this? The Charlie Kirk Show. Can you only watch it on the website? Oh my god. Huh. It looks like, it looks like Charlie Kirk's show is just not here? Live on air. Videos are hidden. Okay. This guy does like a show every day. Is it on? Oh, it's on Rumble. That would make sense. Charlie Kirk Rumble. There it is. I was so goddamn confused. There we are. I decided we're gonna go over this because I hate myself, and also, to a lesser degree, all of you. JK, I love you guys. Don't go anywhere, okay? Please. For the love of God. Alright. Found it. Found it. So basically, Charlie Kirk... My poor makeup. Okay. So, there's a guy. His name is Charles Kirk. Now, Charles Kirk is a man who believes that women do not have the right to an abortion. And should, in fact, be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law if they get one. Along with anyone who aids and abets them, okay? And he has a bit of a problem on his hands. And that problem is the fact that the conservative Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. And that presents a bit of a pickle for conservatives because turns out women really liked having bodily autonomy and they want it back. And that is going to lead to an absolute slaughter, you know, according to Charles Kirk's reading of the polls in the upcoming election. I hope he's correct about that, by the way. And, however, Charles is a bit nervous about this, and so he's been trying to encourage other right-wing influencers to not make this current election cycle about abortion. And I hate to break it to Charles, but that's a little bit too late to try and ask them not to do that, because you won on Roe v. Wade, so like the election is going to be about that, whether you try and make it about it or not. However, earlier today, Charles had on a man named Matthew Walsh, and Charles and Matthew had a discussion about this precarious time in abortion rights in the United States. And I figured I really owe it to you guys to cover this titanic meeting of the minds. These two overtly masculine figures coming together to discuss how women's bodies should be used. So without further ado, here we go.
MAGA doctrine and president of Turning Point USA. Here's Charlie Kirk.
Okay, I want to tell you about Patriot Mobile. Matt
Oh,
Walsh joins us in a
Charlie
second. For 10
Kirk.
years, Patriot Mobile has been America's only Christian conservative wireless provider.
Okay, you could tell I haven't pre-watched this because I was absolutely not prepared for Patriot Mobile. The Patriot Mobile ad? Are you kidding me? Wait, wasn't this idea pushed like 6 years ago? I thought they stopped having like a patriotic phone company. What the hell, dude? Patriot Mobile? Yeah, it's a Christian nationalist wireless phone provider company. So, you know, you can make sure that you're getting your MAGA phones powered by only the best and finest of presumably not 5G, because we all know MAGA folk don't F with no G's in more ways than one. Hey, but my God, 5Gs via Jesus. Oh, the 5Gs. Jesus.
When I say only, trust me, they are the only one. Glenn and the team have been great supporters of the show, which is why I'm proud to partner with them. Patriot Mobile offers dependable nationwide coverage.
Yeah,
giving
non-woke
you the ability
cell
to access
service.
all 3 major networks.
Cell service designed and intended to keep you asleep.
Without funding the left. When you switch to Patriot Mobile, you're sending a message that you support free speech, religious liberty, the sanctity of life, Second Amendment, our military, veterans, and first responder.
Yeah, if you don't buy this cell phone service, you're disrespecting our first responders from 9/11. You fucks. You disrespect all of our fallen servicemen if you don't buy this wireless plan. Why, if you don't have this Patriot wireless plan, it's like you're personally pissing on the grave of every soldier that stormed the beaches of Normandy. I can't, dude. These people are beyond parody.
Heroes. Their 100% US-based customer service team makes switching quite easy. Just go to Patriot Mobile.
Guys, Guys, he can't even try and sell you a wireless plan without being like weirdly racist about it. Right? Like, and don't worry guys, their 100% US based tech support service ensures that you get only the finest quality of support. Because why? Wait, why can't other people support you? Because they're based in the US and we do it better and we speak real English like Americans, goddammit. Apparently. Apparently all of the other Englishes around the world, especially British English, is fake English. The finest quality of rural Nebraskan phone banks. All of its employees have been aged to a fine vintage on minimum wage.
Mobile.com/Charlie or call 972-PATRIOT. Get free activation when you use offer code Charlie. So join me and make the switch today. That is patriotmobile.com/Charlie. Patriotmobile.com/Charlie or call 972-PATRIOT. That is patriotmobile.com/Charlie and get free activation when you use offer code Charlie. 100% US-based customer service team can make switching quite easy. I've made the switch. You should too.
You know, it's pretty interesting that you know, Charlie insists on using his non-God-given name. You know, the Lord intended him to be named Charles Kirk, okay? And he's masquerading around as if his name is Charlie Kirk. My God. Trying to tell trans people they can't use different pronouns? You're using an entirely different name, you hack!
We all have the ability with our phones to make change happen. That's patriotmobile.com/Charlie. Joining us now is the legendary Matt Walsh. Matt, welcome to the program. So, Matt, I didn't anticipate having you on the program.
God, his head is so weirdly proportioned. And, like, that's in response to, like, the very weirdly proportioned head of Matt Walsh.
Talking about your new job as a daytime judge. Tell us all about it, Matt.
Oh God, I forgot about this. I memory hold this so fast. I didn't think this was real. I thought this was a joke. I thought that this was a joke. But this is real. The Daily Wire put this up yesterday. They had like weirdly sized pews. It's so bizarre. Sorry, I know I'm obsessing over this, but it's like very strange.
This is Judged by Matt Walsh.
Graphic design is my passion. How do you come up with this concept? Decide you're going to put all of the resources that you have at your disposal towards this concept and execute it this poorly. This is like Windows Movie Maker first movie ass font. Additionally, one of the things I know from watching these courtroom shows, okay, is that the opening of the episode is important, guys. The opening of the episode is important. Here, just so you guys can compare. Here is how a real show introduces concepts like this, okay? Here's how a real show intros their segment. A real courtroom show.
This is the plaintiff, Alicia Majay. She says she and the defendant used to date, and he owes her $5,000 for trips she paid for to Las Vegas and New York. He also owes her for rent, car insurance, and child support. And she's here suing him for every penny of the money he's trying to get out of paying her, but won't.
Okay, so, like, from that brief clip, you get a voice actor to voice over the segment and ham it the F up, okay? You get a voice actor to ham it up, okay? And on top of that, you get some type music in the background, you know? Jazz up the intro. You know, really stick it to him. You know? Additionally, and you might not have noticed this, because they don't do a lot of the wide shots here, but you'll notice here that they have the entire courtroom packed. They're not trying to narrow how many people are in the shot to make it look like a packed room. They actually bothered to bring people in to, like, they hired some extras, or they bring people in off the street, because the People's Court, you can bring them in off the street because people want to be on the show. But then, like, you have a packed room. You don't have to build an artificially narrow set in order to make it seem like it's full. Okay? Now, compare it to this entrance, okay? Compare what you just saw to to this, okay? So the room was already silent. He didn't need to bang it to order. And also, Matt Walsh isn't this guy. Like, Matt Walsh isn't this funny, like, happy-go-lucky type guy. Wait, I didn't realize he was going to be the judge? Yeah, he's the judge. That's why it's called Judged by Matt Walsh. He's not a judge. No, he's not. But neither are any of the other people on judge shows, with the exception of, like, a couple of them, because I know, like, a few of them are actually lawyers or judges. But, like, Matt Walsh isn't the funny guy. He's not known for his, like, belly laugh humor. He's known for being, like, the straight man, you know? The straight, homophobic, bigoted man. And, like, he's known for being boring. Why are you putting him in a role like this when his job should clearly just be sitting behind the judge judge counter? What do you call it? The judge bench, and then, like, judging these people. Like, that's his strong suit. That's what people are tuning into this show to see, not him try to make haha funny times.
May be seated. Mr. Taylor.
Like, I'm like both offended by, like, this concept of a show existing, because I know it's going to be horrifically racist and such, but I'm also offended as a person who watches courtroom shows because they're kind of fun. And how little this show cares about actually being one of those. Weird. Also, what is this pen doing here? Just I know it's inconsequential along with like literally everything else, but the pen is weird, and I need to stress again, what the hell is up with the decision to go with this carpet? I know that sounds like a weird thing to circle back on, but you can see why I would circle back on it, right? Look at all of the goddamn footprints you can see on the carpet. Why is the set design like this? The people who do the set design would know that you are going to be able to see footprints on it. Like, I can't unsee it. I've been noticing it the entire time. The entire time they've been showing the carpet in this entire show, I've been like, that looks really weird. Why the hell would they include that? And it just keeps getting worse the more people keep walking around on it. It looks so bad. Yeah, the carpet's made out of suede. Look, guys, the set people just need to go through once between shoots and make sure they all rub it the same way, okay? They just need to all rub it the same way. Is Matt Walsh just staring at this man as he polishes his knob? His hard wooden knob? Oh! Wait, this actually explains a lot. I paused on this frame incidentally, but this actually explains a lot. Writers, Matt Walsh, Fred Ewing, and Victor Dweck. Just out of curiosity, I'm just gonna Google the other writers on this show. Fred Ewing, writer. Oh, good. You know, it's always positive when I Google someone and literally the only other thing they've ever written for is this show. Known for writing judged by Matt Walsh. Excellent stuff. Excellent stuff. What about Victor Dweck? Known for Dweck, the TV series. He wrote and directed and produced a show called, well, now I just have to look at what the hell that is. Dweck TV series. Is this the guy? Victor, yep, this is it.
The firefighters worked tirelessly to tackle the blaze that engulfed an entire three-story townhome in West Philadelphia. The family of 4 was saved thanks to the efforts of one firefighter, Shane McGillis. Shane, you fought this fire for 3 hours.
Yeah. It was pretty brutal up there.
Can you confirm this is you?
Yeah, this is...
We have an unnamed source claiming you may in fact be a white supremacist.
So I'm not a white... I just saved an entire family up there, and not that it matters at all, but those were Mexicans.
The family was in fact Guatemalan.
Well, I didn't go to college, so...
Are you saying on the record that all Hispanics look the same?
What's this? What are you doing?
Let's see.
Stunning comedy chops. Stunning. I've seen this before somehow. Well, it was written 5 years ago and it has 2.4 million views. So yeah. So we got that guy writing for this. So they have that comedy powerhouse. And we have Fred Ewing, who, like, for all intents and purposes, from everything I can see, hasn't ever written anything. And then you have Matt Walsh. So that explains some bits of why that was so terrible. Wow. Cool stuff. Well, I hadn't intended for that segment to be entirely us covering Matt Walsh's first case. But oh boy, that was a lot. That really hurt me on a level of my soul I didn't even know could be hurt. The small portion of it dedicated to courtroom dramedies. Matt Walsh is bad and should be embarrassed of this until the day he dies, along with everyone else associated with this clusterfuck of a production. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the segment. My eyes are burning. I know, mine too. My heart is crying. Folks, if you've enjoyed the stream so far, please hit the follow button on Twitch, hit the subscribe button on YouTube, like the YouTube stream, which is actually really important for you to do because it helps this show reach more people. And remember, folks, remember to hit, remember to drop some subs or donos or memberships if you're over on YouTube, because all of those help me to survive, and this show is brought to you by viewers like you. So, thank you. And from me to you, personally, thank you. Already liked the stream because I'm a good bottom? Good. Yeah, we have like 200 people watching. We should be able to hit 100 likes on the stream. We have 79 right now, so you guys aren't doing so hot. Don't laugh because it happened. Smile because it's over. Also, Midnight Null Night, thank you for the 100 biddies. When I was just a 19-year-old boy, I was given my marching order by General Henry T. Booty to commit war crimes. Still hear them screaming. Still better than watching a Matt Walsh show. True. True. I forgore. Good girl, Sophie. That was horrific. Okay, wait. No shot. 19-year-old college girl here, ex-leftist, who is genuinely swayed to the right by Matt's logic. He has not only completely changed my political stance, but I genuinely consider him the funniest man alive. and will be replacing any and all trash TV I normally watch with this show. I may not be able to afford a Daily Wire Plus subscription, but damn it, I will acquire one to watch this show somehow. And that is so sad, but yet it has 1,000 likes, 1,300 likes on the YouTube, in the YouTube comment section. How? She's responding in the comments. What the hell? What the hell is that? I was genuinely swayed to the right by Matt Walsh's logic. And you think he's the funniest man alive? Are you kidding me? God. She's in so deep, bros, we can't fix her. I can't, dude. I can't. Anyway, that was a really long preamble for us to get to what I had intended us to watch, which was to go over. Charlie Kirk interviewing Matt Walsh. They're about to talk about his Judge show here.
Yeah, we just debuted my new show. It's called Judged by Matt Walsh, and it's it's kind of our foray into courtroom, into the courtroom genre. And they came to me with this idea where I could actually be a judge and preside over real legal cases and I have actual legal authority. It's pretty limited legal authority, but I do have some over the lives of these people that step into my courtroom. And as someone who's been accused of being judgmental pretty much my entire life, I figured it's a pretty natural, seems like a natural, career path for me, a career move.
Wait, so how does this work? Does like the local magistrate give you some authority? Are you a lawyer? Like, I mean, what's the process here that allows you to be somewhat of a judge?
It's not quite that official. I think it was. I'm still not quite accepted in actual legal circles. So these have to be people that come to us. It's generally people who would never be allowed to step foot in a real courtroom. And they come to us instead. Actually, the real genesis of this is that on my show, we used to like to go to the Reddit, Am I the A-hole forum, where people have their dilemmas, wondering if they're the a-hole or not. And so the original idea was like, well, what if we took those cases on Reddit and did it as a court show? It's very.
Wait, is that what you did? Did you just dramatize, like, lightly, like, stripped down Am I the A-hole threads? Because I could actually see that happening for where they're getting the ideas for this show. That's
very high level art that we're producing here, I think.
Yeah, so the trailer speaks for itself. Let's play cut 88.
All rise for the Honorable Judge Walsh.
Please be seated. Miss Goldstein, Mr. Bentley, Mr. Outerbridge, Miss Spicer,
Your Honor.
Mr. Barney,
Yes, Your Honor.
Miss Singh.
Yes. At 30,000 feet, my lips exploded.
Why would I pay rent to somebody who had sex with my sister?
A dog bit my finger.
He's allergic, like the grass.
If he didn't want me to drive the car, he would have took the key. I had it with him.
Has anyone told you you're the worst negotiator that's ever lived? I've never been more annoyed than I am in this moment. Not even close. That does it.
I'm sorry. You could have opened up with a court case in which a guy has to demonstrate his skill at a claw machine game. And instead you opened up with a court case about a lady T-boning an old man? Why did you choose the most boring case to open up your show?
Please get the hell out of my courtroom.
Also, why does the trailer have like cowboy music, but the actual show itself has none of that vibe or energy?
So the first episode will be free on YouTube, and then you have to get a Daily Wire Plus subscription to watch the rest. You know, Matt, when I think of you as
Are
very
you okay,
patient,
Metal Kitty Mom?
understanding, empathetic, perfect for dispute resolution.
Well, I appreciate that. I don't think anyone else in the world thinks of me that way, but I'm glad that you do at least. And I also figured that, look, I mean, you know, nobody in America is qualified for the jobs they're doing anymore, especially our leaders. So if that's the case, then hey, why can't I be a judge?
Well, I think it's terrific. So Matt, I want to make sure everyone's aware. This is the first season. How many episodes, and any other details regarding that you want?
I feel like you could tell that Matt Walsh doesn't really want to talk that much about his show. I also would not be very proud of it if I was Matt Walsh.
The audience to be aware of.
Yeah, it's the first season. We just debuted it. You can find it on the first episode's on YouTube right now. You can go to Daily Wire YouTube, or you can go to dailywire.com, and that's where all the rest of the episodes will be streaming. We'll release one a week for the next several weeks.
So Matt, doing this first season, has your opinion of humanity improved, or is it, let's just say, diminished?
It would be hard for it to get any worse than it already was. It hasn't gotten better. I certainly cannot say that I've walked out of these cases feeling, you know, more optimistic about the future of humanity. But I also don't feel worse.
Oh,
so
Jesus,
that's
Metal
the good
Kitty
thing
Mom,
about
I'm
being just
sorry.
incredibly pessimistic all the time, is that you can never be disappointed. I can never be disappointed again. I'm already, it's as low as it can get all the time.
Yeah, the expectations are in the gutter. And I just looking at the trailer with these people's, her lips blew up at 30,000 feet. I mean, the dispute resolution thing is quite amazing. So look forward to watching it and diving into it. So Matt, would love your clarity on kind of a debate that is raging on the right now regarding abortion. How should we think about it? What should we do? Matt Walsh, what is your perspective on this?
Well, I mean, first of all, as I think most people know, I'm absolutely radically 100% pro-life, no exceptions. I think, and for the simple reason that it's the only logical and morally coherent position to take, is to be against all abortions, because we kind of have two questions really when you think about the abortion issue. The first is, you know, is it always wrong to kill innocent, defenseless human beings? That's the first question. My answer to that question is yes.
Oh, that's pretty interesting, Matt. Especially because the Bible specifically has a lot of cases in which God orders the death of innocent, defenseless beings. You know, like the part of the Bible where a guy calls a group of bears to eat a bunch of children who mock him for being bald. Or the part where, you know, Sodom and Gomorrah get wiped off the map, even the babies in the, you know, respective cities. Or you could see literally the plague, the final plague of Egypt, Noah's Ark. There are a lot of cases in which God unambiguously orders like innocent people to their deaths.
The second question is an unborn human in the womb a human? Does that count as a human? And my answer to that is also yes, because if you don't say yes, then you're left with a third question. Is, well, okay, well, if it's not a human, then what is that?
Well, again, is like a skin cell that becomes separated from your body, is that a human, Matt? And the answer is yes, but it's clearly not given the same weight as like a human body, right? Like as an adult, you know, an adult human male or female, as Matt Walsh likes to say, does like has more rights than like a skin cell that has been like stripped from your body. The Bible itself classifies it a human only 3 days post-birth. Shh. Okay? Shh. Ignore, guys, we need to ignore the historical fact, that the Bible typically only related like a soul to a person when they took their first breath. Okay? But, you know, it's interesting because Matt Walsh wants to attribute some of this to, you know, biblical truth and inerrancy, but only when it's convenient.
Creature in the womb. Is it some other species? Is there
Ignore the parts of the Bible also that relate to preparing the bitter water that will cause an abortion. Ignore all of that, I guess.
stage of human development where a human being is not even a human? That doesn't really make any sense. And so I think, again, just kind of logically, you're left with the inescapable conclusion that abortion is always wrong because it's always the murder of a human being. And that's my position. So that's the position. Now, there's a second part of the question, which is the politics of it. And I understand that
I think though that Matt Walsh would recognize that we give children different rights from parents. You know, we give children different rights from adults, would be a better way of putting that. And likewise, we give fetuses different rights from children. You know? I like, given that we already make a distinction between adults and children, it doesn't seem strange at all to me that we would give different rights and status to fetuses as well.
My position of being totally opposed to abortion in all cases is not the majority view of the American people, and it's probably not even a sizable minority at this point, because unfortunately we live in a country where most people are okay with at least some amount of baby murder, which is a major indictment on our culture and a major problem in its own right. But it is the political reality, and so that's that. And it's sort of I have the advantage when I'm not a politician that I don't really have to navigate the political reality that, of course, the politicians do.
Yeah.
You know, see, this is very interesting. This is the kind of stuff I love hearing these freaks talk about. You know. Because essentially what Matt Walsh just said here and like explained is the fact that he himself is viewed as a weird freak who wants to control the bodies of women. You know? People, by and large in America, look at Charlie Kirk and Matt Walsh and they go, "Oh, you are creepy, lecherous weirdos who want to manipulate women's bodies against their will." And we don't like that. And that's the thing, right? He said abortion is wrong in all cases. I mean, does he not get what he is saying? Oh, no. He gets what that is saying, Lady Ringclad. Like, but both he and Charlie Kirk agree on that case. Both he and Charlie Kirk agree that if, like, you know, someone gets raped and they are impregnated, like, they need to give birth to that baby. They should not be able to get an abortion. Mother dying, don't care. Don't care. They don't care. And they never will care unless it personally affects them. You know? Like, you think if one of Matt Walsh's kids got like impregnated at like 10 years old, like Matt Walsh wouldn't like fly that child to Canada or out of state to get an abortion? Are you kidding me? Not. The second it affects any of their actual lives, these people suddenly find it like it's wrong in all of these other cases, but in my case, I have a special exception from this by, well, God told me it was okay. You know, God spoke to me in my heart of hearts and told me it was okay. So, but all of your other cases are bad. I don't know. I think Matt Walsh might be ghoulish enough. That's true. I think maybe Charlie Kirk would have been a better example, because I think Charlie Kirk really is just kind of like in it for the cash, you know? But for most of these conservatives, they are not true believers. And even if they are, they will find a loophole for themselves when it affects their family.
Yeah, so Matt, can you comment on the conservative movement and some Republicans that have been telling us they're pro-life, and they're being revealed they're actually not very pro-life, especially in this last week, the last couple days, where people say, well, no, I'm not that pro-life. What's your comment on this?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't surprise me, because this is, to some extent, this is what we've seen for decades now in the Republican Party. In fact, what we're being told right now is that the way to win elections is to moderate your position on abortion, is to be at least a little bit pro-abortion. And the thing,
well, this is the problem, right? This is the problem that Matt Walsh and his ilk are running into here, which is that when Roe v. Wade was the law of the land, Republican politicians could be as vocally anti-abortion as they wanted to be. There is no real counterbalance to it, because there was no real threat of them actually being able to do anything that would have furthered, you know, pro-life causes. You know, there was no actionable ability there. But then once Roe v. Wade fell, now conservatives who really, really were on that pro-life train are demanding their politicians do something about it. And these conservatives who could virtue signal all day, every day about how pro-life they are finally, like, being put between a rock and a hard place. And they're like, well, actually, we're looking at the polling numbers, and even among conservatives, most of conservative women still want their bodily autonomy, and we don't want to lose their votes, and, like, are moderating their positions. They're moving away from, you know, national abortion bans, or even bans in their own state, you know? And yeah, of course we always knew that their pro-life stance was always, you know, BS, because they aren't in favor of, like, feeding children who have been born, because they're like, oh, well, that's the government dole. It'll make them weak. We can't feed children. They have to learn to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. They can't expect free lunches. You know? Except for Arizona. Even Arizona's attorney general isn't enforcing the abortion ban.
thing is that's what those of us who've been in the pro-life movement for a long time, we know that we've been hearing that. This is not a new thing. It's not a new insight. This is what the Republican Party has been saying my entire life. They've been
Yeah, like ironically, the end of Roe v. Wade is kind of like a nail in the coffin of the pro-life movement, because it radicalizes everyone that was already like pro-choice, you know, pro women's bodily autonomy. It radicalizes all of them to get far, far, far more involved than they would have anyway. But also, it moves people who were pro-life and now are looking down the barrel of forced pregnancies. It moves them into a pro-choice position. You know? When they're actually looking down the barrel of, well, you won't be able to get an abortion even if your life is in danger. Well, you won't be able to get an abortion even if you get raped and pregnant. Well, you won't be able to get an abortion even if, like, you know you're going to give birth to, like, a stillborn. Like, well, you know, you're still not going to let you get an abortion, you know, even if, like, you have absolutely no level of preparedness in your life for a baby. You know, like, it's suddenly looking down the very real possibility of any of those things. It radicalizes people who were pro-life conceptually into a pro-choice position. So basically what what Charlie Kirk here and Matt Walsh are talking about is the fact that their position is so virulently unpopular that it is actually weakening the conservative movement to a degree that it will be impossible for them to win an election. Yeah, this is exactly the kind of case where this is a, man, it sure feels good to be sowing. Oh no, now we have to reap. This is just kind of like one of the ultimate formulations of that. George Carlin said, if you're pre-born, you're fine. If you're pre-schooled, you're fucked. True.
Been insisting that the only way to win elections is to basically, forfeit the pro-life position to some extent. It doesn't seem to have worked out so far. And the other problem, too, is that what we're being told is that, okay, well, we have to treat it as a states' rights issue. Now, I don't agree with that. I think that, again, killing babies is always wrong, no matter what, and it shouldn't, no state should have the right to kill babies. But if that is the position that a conservative takes, well, then it doesn't make any sense to then turn around and oppose the states that are outlawing it. Because if your kind of way to navigate this is to say, well, make it states' rights. Well, then what happens when a state does outlaw it? If you turn around and oppose that too, well, then it appears that you're just pro-abortion. And that's some of what we're seeing in Arizona right now, where after the Supreme Court decision, a law is going to go into effect. It's not a federal law; it's a law in that particular state that's going to ban most abortions. And yet we have people on the right who appear to be opposed to that too, which doesn't make any sense to me. If you're claiming that this is states' rights, well, that's the state has the right to pass that law, don't they?
And it's been eye-opening to me because what should have been met with celebration, Matt, was met with retreat. And
exactly, yeah.
What you mean politicians would do that? You mean conservative politicians would do that, guys? They would just lie? Is this your first day covering politics, you two? Are you kidding me?
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, that is the most frustrating thing for me. The overturning of Roe v. Wade is one of the great victories for human rights that has ever been achieved in the history of human civilization. It does not exist.
Oh my God. In the history of human civilization? Are you kidding me? Oh my God. Gee. It sure would be shocking if turned out that position was incredibly unpopular and also flies in the face of like all human rights, because you're literally taking bodily autonomy away from fully grown a class of fully grown adult people, and you're saying no, you actually can't do what you want with your body. You can't actually have bodily autonomy. Sorry, another human has taken it away from you. Insane stuff.
Exaggeration was the overturning of that evil, ridiculous law or decision. And rather than doing what the left does, which is when they get a victory, they gloat about it, they celebrate, and then they immediately look for, like, what can we do next? How can we double down? Where do we take this next? What's the next victory? They're never satisfied. And instead, what we've done on the right, in many corners anyway, is we've responded by, we're embarrassed of the victory. We don't want to talk.
Yeah, it turns out, Matt Walsh, that your victory opened up a case where a 10-year-old rape victim had to flee her state in order to get an abortion because the state she lived in would have denied her the ability at 10 years old to get an abortion. And I need to point out that you were actually a big fan of her being forced to give birth. And thankfully that didn't happen. But 10-year-olds don't have bodies that are really capable of giving birth safely. Like, any amount of being pregnant when you're 10, when you are prepubescent, is literally life-threatening. So, like, your championing of the pro-life cause was literally torturing a 10-year-old. That was your big chance to, like, crow about your victory, Matt. And surprise, surprise, most people hated that. In fact, I would argue everyone who's not a monster hated that.
Talk about it. We seem to be disappointed that it happened because it's politically inconvenient, and we're now retreating, kind of snatching defeat from the jaws of victory, which I think is one of the essential differences between the right and left.
Why do you think that is? Why does the left play to?
Also, keep in mind, Matt Walsh is totally fine with grown adult men impregnating 16-year-olds. So, just keep that in the back of your mind whenever he participates in a discussion about women's bodies.
And our side plays to comfortably lose.
I think some of it is just conditioning. This is the way conservatives have always been. And on this particular issue of abortion, I think that the right, generally speaking, has never tried the strategy of actually trying to effectively message on this issue. So again, my entire life, what I've been told is that the only way for Republicans to win is.
That's because there's not an effective way to message on this issue, Matt. Sorry, it's not popular.
To moderate and run away and compromise on this. Well, there's another, the idea of, like, let's go on offense. Let's take it to the other side.
Yes.
They are the ones who actually do support the murder of fully developed infants in the womb who could live outside of the womb. I don't think that matters.
There's literally no case where you're getting an abortion where an infant that could survive outside of the womb is just being murdered. There's no cases of that happening. The only cases where that does happen is when there is a direct threat to the life of the mother during the birthing process. That's it. That's it. Like, if it's big enough to survive outside of the womb, the abortion is just giving birth at that point. It's just called, like, a C-section.
Matters in terms of whether it's okay to kill them. It's not okay in either case. But that is the mainstream Democrat position right now. And that should be the conversation. That should be what we're talking about. But we let them set the terms of the debates by, every time we talk about abortion, we have to talk about rape and incest, life of the mother. Let's talk about the 1%, less than 1% hard cases. That's all they want to talk about. They don't want to talk about the 99% of cases where abortion is used quite explicitly as a form of birth control. But we allow them. We allow them.
And you know what? If you'll notice, that's why in the debate I had recently with that guy who was pro-life, why I didn't try to make appeals to those fringe cases. I made an appeal to the core argument of the choice position, which is bodily autonomy. Bodily autonomy is all you need to win one of these debates, to really make an argument against this forced birth position. I don't think the state should be able to force you to give birth against your will. There we go. Even if you grant that the person that is relying on your body has all of the rights and privileges of a fully grown adult human, I don't actually think that they have the right to your body. I don't think anyone does, regardless of how big or small they are. So, I think it's a pretty easy argument to win on the core issue, let alone on the fringe issues. But by all means, Matt Walsh, bring it to the core issue. I would love that.
To escape by setting the terms of the debate in that way.
Oh God, sorry, I just noticed that Matt Walsh's Chiron here is judged by Matt Walsh. Amazing stuff.
Matt Walsh is now a judge. I can't wait to watch it. Matt, I want to keep you for another segment, and I want to make sure the audience understands that Matt Walsh deserves more credit than anybody else on moving the Overton window on the trans topic. And I don't throw out praise lightly, but what you did for years, Matt, you were in this topic and in the weeds of it. And I want to talk about after the break. I think we're seeing huge movement on that topic, and that actually might be a blueprint on the abortion topic. You were in the trenches. You were playing offense on it. And now the Democrats are afraid of the...
You know, interesting stuff here. Interesting that Charlie sees a parallel between trans rights and abortion rights. And what have we, trans people, been telling you the entire time they've been going after us? They're not going to stop with trans people. They're going to go after women. They're going to go after other queer groups. They're going to go after minorities. Like, this is just a way to get their foot in the door before they widen and broaden their attack on other groups.
The topic. Other countries are banning child mutilation. And Matt, you deserve a lot of credit for that. And so stay right there, please. ReliefFactor.com, 100% drug-free Relief Factor. Daily something that helps your body.
Are you fucking kidding me, Charlie? You're about to attack people for, like, getting trans healthcare? You're about to attack trans people for getting HRT? And you immediately launch into a segment where you're gonna hawk, like, these, like, non-FDA approved, like, supplements that are gonna, like, revitalize your karmic energies or whatever? Are you kidding me?
Body fight back against pain. Unlike pills that simply mask your pain for a short period of time, Relief Factor helps support your body's natural response to inflammation. Relief Factor isn't simply about feeling better, it's about living.
Oh, okay. It won't make you feel better. It won't lessen your pain. It will just affect your healing factor. Okay.
Living better, living the life you want, and doing the activities that you love. See how Relief Factor can help.
But not if you're trans. You can only enjoy the activities you love if you're a cisgender person.
You with the 3 quick start. It's only $19.95, and it comes with Relief Factor's Feel Better or your money-back guarantee. So visit ReliefFactor.com. That is ReliefFactor.com, or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That is the number 1-800-4-RELIEF. No better gift for yourself or a loved one than feeling good again. That is ReliefFactor.com, ReliefFactor.com. Matt Walsh, his movie What is a Woman? He was on top of the Vanderbilt thing. We are building a movement to get rid of child mutilation in this.
Wait, sorry. Just real quick, since they're moving on from abortion. Charlie Kirk, seemed to be lockstep with Matt Walsh through that previous segment that we did. Just was really like, oh, Matt Walsh, you're so right. What they're all backing away from this abortion position. I can't believe it. It's so cowardly. And he has Matt Walsh on. Literally a handful of hours. Like a handful of hours after he finished recording that, the same day. I'm gonna, I don't know this for sure, but I'm gonna speculate a little bit. Charlie Kirk, a major funder of Charlie Kirk and Turning Point USA, must have been watching that particular show. Because I think Charlie Kirk got some new marching orders, because literally a few hours after this show aired, he put out this. I am 100% pro-life. I've spent countless hours defending the pro-life position on campus and in the media. To all my fellow pro-lifers, we must be compassionate as well as strategic, and the choice is simple. If you allow November to become a referendum on abortion, evidence suggests our side will lose and more babies will die. If we win in November, we will be positioned to claw back radical pro-abortion policies while we continue to persuade more voters of the horrors of killing babies. Win and we can save lives. Lose and even more will die. And I need to stress to you guys, that is not the position that he had during that segment. His position was, can you believe these cowardly politicians suddenly running away from the abortion position? How cowardly can they be? And immediately, someone watching his show called him up. It's like, Charlie, you can't say that. You guys are being killed in the like we're being killed in the polls, Charlie. You got to moderate your position here. You've got to like make it more tenable for us to be moderate conservatives who are pro-life. And so Charlie then puts this statement out directly contradicting what he just talked about. Like, one, I think it's very funny that they're trying to you know, do some like mental like martial arts here in order to try and like avoid the consequences of their actions, but also if we allow November to become a referendum on abortion, evidence suggests our side will lose and more babies will die. Ignoring this more babies will die part, this part is really telling. If you mean it, if we turn this upcoming election into something about abortion, we're going to lose? Yeah, because your position is horrifically unpopular and monstrous. Yeah, actually. By holding the positions that they do in a post-Roe world, when Republicans campaign, when conservatives come out of the woodwork to defend, like, forced birth policies, it's effectively just more campaigning for Joe Biden. Hey, High Progressive. Yeah, even Trump put out new messaging saying the states have the right to decide, which, you know, is going to be bullshit if he wins. You know, he wants to put a national abortion ban. But I just found it fascinating because, like, the messaging between that Matt Walsh conversation he had and what he said on Twitter, totally opposite in my view. Totally opposite, irreconcilable if you know the context of his two statements. And I think somebody called him up on the phone and told him to cut it out. They can beat Abbott. Yeah. Also, Brianna Huffman, thank you very much for voting in the primary. I'm glad to see it. Something that terrifies me is that the president controls drug scheduling. I mean, yeah, basically, and I can't stress this enough. If Donald Trump wins, trans people are fucked. You know? People who might need to get an abortion are fucked. You know, literally, no, nothing is good anymore. Donald Trump is a fascist. You know, you want to protest against him? Guess what? He'll mobilize, like, the military or ICE or something against you. Like, democracy is done, in my opinion, if he wins. He's not going to allow another election. Are you kidding me? So, yeah. If democracy isn't already over. I think our democracy still functions. And, you know, people might argue it's an oligarchy or whatever, and, like, that might very well be. However, the only way for us to unfuck our entire system is to participate in the democracy and leverage it despite all of the challenges against us. Also, I know I was considering watching the rest of this Matt Walsh, Charlie Kirk team up, but you know what? Today's the anniversary of me being 7 years on HRT, and I'm just gonna veto the transphobia segment. Because we know they're gonna be transphobic. I don't need that in my life right now. I don't need that in my life right now. And you know what? Have you asked yourself a very important question today? Have I dropped any subs or donos or memberships on Riverboat Jack to commemorate her 7 years on HRT and being able to be herself? And if the answer is no, look deep into your heart, because you might be transphobic. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Today is a transtastic day. Hell yeah. Happy anniversary. Thank you, Sophie. It's my birthday. I actually need to type it out, because my joke really only makes sense if it is typed out. There we go. Birthday. I'm stealing that joke. It has to catch on. I came up with it, and I demand it catches on. Matatiahu!
BWA.
Thank you very much for the 5 gifted tier 1 subs. You are not transphobic. Thank you so much. Can you sing Happy Birthday for yourself? Okay, I can do that. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday, dear me. Happy birthday to me. And many more. It sounds so weird when you replace words in the birthday song. Oh, I thought of a song. I thought of a song that might be nice to sing on stream sometime, but I can't remember what it was. You get the cis chatter pass? You do! DJ Cummerbund corn mashup? I think that might actually be the Bill McClintock corn mashup, but you know what? I do like that song.
Keep holding on when my brain's ticking like a bomb. Guess the black dot to come again to get me. Sweet bitter words, unlike nothing I've heard. Sing along, mockingbird.
Thanks, O'Diddums.
Strong, so delicate. That's right. Trigger between my eyes. Please strike. Make it quick now. Wait, I'm coming undone. Wait, I'm coming undone. Too late. I'm coming undone. One look so strong, so delicate. Wait, I'm starting to suffocate. And soon I anticipate. I'm coming undone. One look so strong, so delicate.
Over now, feeling still.
Trying to hold it together. Head is lighter than a feather. Looks like I'm not getting better. Not getting better. Wait, I'm coming undone. Wait, I'm coming undone. Too late. I'm coming undone. One look so strong, so delicate. Wait, I'm starting to suffocate. And soon I anticipate. Coming undone, one look so strong, so delicate.
Lady Raincloud, thank you for the 5 gifted tier 1 subs. Let's go, BWA, baby. Thank you so much. No notes. Isn't it great? Isn't it great, guys? Also, I found another one from Bill McClintock that I really like. Which one was it? I know I love Viva La Psycho, but I feel like I've thrust that on you guys too much. Which one was... Oh, it might be this one. Hey, Sweetie Jimbus. don't these go so well together? It's so weird, OS Crane. It's just so funky. It's just I would have never expected that to fit with Dude Looks Like a Lady. So folks, I've been thinking, do the Psycho one that I like? Okay, I'll do that one. Yeah, you get that rest where you can get it, Crystal Hazer. Get good sleep, okay? And, folks, I think tomorrow, I'm gonna do a video game stream. I want to keep playing Dragon's Dogma, and I've been really enjoying it, but every time I play it off stream, I do a thing, and I'm like, oh man, I wish chat was here to see that. So last time I ended, I was like, oh, we gotta go find Ulrika. And I found Ulrika. But after like going through a cave system where I found like an old skeleton mage that kicked my ass, and killed everyone except for me, and King Ruckus. So, yeah. So we'll play more Dragon's Dogma and go on little adventures together. I think will be the news of the day. And also, maybe we'll play some more Pacific Drive, because I really enjoyed when we played like the first hour of Pacific Drive, and I've wanted to go back to it ever since, but just like we haven't had the time to go do that, and I would really like to. And also, what was the other thing I was gonna? Yeah, Pacific Drive has... It's hard for me to, like, describe Pacific Drive, but it has Riz. It has so much Riz, it's ridiculous. What was the other thing I was gonna say? It's true, you are my little gay friends who live in my computer. I'm gonna just say night-night. Good night, Monica. And on Friday, we'll do our subathon stream. And tomorrow we'll just chill, because I think I just need a chill day. I have played The Flame in the Flood, Gamer G. It's really good. I'd pay to see you play The Sims 4 so you can do the romance aspiration. Maybe one day. It'd be fun to do that one day. But we'll do some Dragon's Dogma 2 tomorrow, I think. And some Pacific Drive. Oh, and Salmon Moose. I just saw as I was going through my Steam that you gifted me Balatro, which I've been hearing a lot about, and I was actually while I was sick wishing I had like a digital card game type thing to play, and this is perfect. Yes, my audio is not sunk. I don't know why it's not sunk. But, you know, we're getting to the point where we wrap up streams. That's okay. I shall accept this gift. Thank you so much, Salmon Moose. I've heard basically everyone who plays Balataro loves it. And it's really great, apparently. So, I don't know why, I don't know why everything's not sunk up on here. I'm sorry. A bit of a mess. Balataro is amazing. Excellent. All right, and now we need to do...
And the rain will kill us all. We throw ourselves against the wall, but no one else can see the preservation of the martyr in me. And the rain will kill us all. We throw ourselves against the wall, but no one else can see the preservation of the martyr in me.
Oh, Byronic Fairy! I feel like a lot of people have similar experiences.
of the modern man. Psychosocial, 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 psychosocial. Oh, there are cracks in the road we lay, but where the temple fell, the secrets have gone mad. This is nothing new, but when we killed it all, the hate was all we had. Who needs another mess? We could start over. Just look me in the eyes and say I'm wrong. Now there's only emptiness, but a Mississippi. I think we're good. I'm not the only one. And the rain will kill us all. We throw ourselves against the wall, but no one else can see the preservation of the modern man. And the rain will kill us all. We throw ourselves against the wall, but no one else can see the preservation of the modern man. Psychosocial, 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 psychosocial. The woman's on the door. The woman's on the and the rain will kill us all. We throw ourselves against the wall, but no one else can see the preservation of the modern man. And the rain will kill us all. We throw ourselves against the wall, but no one else can see the preservation of the modern man.
So much fun! I know my audio is messed up. Forgive me. You all are wonderful. I really appreciate all of you. Thanks for helping me to have, you know, the last 4, almost 5 years with you guys, building up what we've all made together. And like, you're the ones who allow me to do this. To have little dancing streams in front of my computer and like be able to afford HRT and like continuing to exist. And I, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate all of you, and I have no words to speak to the depth to which I appreciate it. Thank you. Now get out of here, you crazy kids. We're gonna raid into Conyer. Y'all have a lovely time, okay? I adore you. Eat well. Get good sleep. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.